Everybody, it's Gail from Gail's Bookish Things. I have a pen roll I'd like to show you today, and happy spring, by the way. It's so exciting that spring is here, and today we went outside and had a beautiful walk. It was so nice out to see the sun, and anyway, I hope you're enjoying the new season as well. So I was inspired to make this pen roll after seeing Chris Saenz video on how to make a pen roll from a cloth or a pre-made cloth placemat. And then also I've been looking at Heidi's journal, Kirsten, her Instagram page, and I thought, especially Kirsten had this really cute patchwork quilt pen roll. And I was like, oh, I like that. I wasn't really drawn to a pen roll necessarily. And then I saw Chris's video. And between the two, I just thought, you know what? I've got plenty of scrap fabric. And I thought I would just give it a whirl. So didn't have too much going today. And this is what I made. So I had a good chunk of time. Took a little while to make this. But I'm really happy with how it turned out. I can talk you through the process a little bit, but as you can see, it's got 6 pockets, and I just have TWSBIs in them now. They could go just a little, well, I think I have them pushed down. When I first put them in, they were like that. They go down just far enough where the tops are popping out, and it's easy to grab them. This was not a difficult thing to do, but it was a little bit time consuming because I have not made one before, and I was just kind of making up this pattern as I went along. So it doesn't take too much fabric. You need 3 pieces. You need a back cover, the lining, and then this piece here is the same size as the other 2, the front and the back, but I folded it over. I can, I'll try to, if anybody's interested, maybe I can tell you the dimensions more specifically, but basically what I did was ironed on it, let's see, what's it called, fusible fleece was ironed onto the back of this, and then I just did these sideways stitches to kind of hold the fleece on. Well, I kind of patched it together because I had a few bits and not a full piece, so that secured that. Then I put, okay, never mind. This is just a regular piece of fabric here. This lining, this kind of nautical themed, kind of an animated nautical theme. I think this is really cute. Let me take this out and show you. I love how the TWSBIs all fit in there. It's really fun. So you can't see a lot of the fabric, but it's really cute. It also has mermaids and mermen on it, on a full piece. But anyway, so there's 1, 2, and then this is the same size as this, and I lined it with a kind of a reinforced interfacing. Let's see, I have it under here. Let me find it. It's actually this stuff. This fusible buckram. I'm not even sure how you pronounce it. I bought this online when you couldn't get to the store to buy anything that you wanted. You had to go online for everything this past winter. So I bought that, and I have plenty of that. As you can see, I was using it for some book sleeves. Anyhow, so this piece has that. The full length is covered with this on the back. You also ironed that on, and then I folded it over and I stitched here and here, and the idea of that was to make this really firm, a stiffer fabric, so you could insert a pen easily and it wouldn't bunch up under the pressure of the pen going in and out, or you could put it in like that. Basically then I sewed this pocket part to this part. I just, well, I don't want to get too detailed here, but basically I attached those. There was a little bit of a seam here. And then I sewed the lines for the pockets. Then I put this and this together, right sides together, left a little opening here, sewed it all the way around, then flipped it so the right sides were back out, and then I just stitched right across the top here. And that's okay. It's a little sloppy looking. What I should have done was take this red stitch all the way across so where the opening was isn't quite as noticeable, but I knew that this was just going to be something I was using, so I didn't worry about it too much. But that next time I have my sewing machine out, I usually put it away after using it because I don't have a good spot to have it up all the time. But anyway, I will probably go back and just top stitch that all the way across the top in these little side pieces. My husband helped me put in this eyelet. I have a little eyelet set, which is basically a little peg thing that helps you hammer that in, and it flails that out, and it's kind of hard to see, but it's right there. And I had this cord left over from a gift from a friend, either for Christmas, I think it was this past Christmas. I just put it in my jar of miscellaneous ribbons and strings, and I decided, after trying a couple different things, that I liked this idea. I just knotted this. This is a sort of a wire cord. You don't really notice the wire in it. It does start to poke out here, so I kind of glued those together. But it just kind of looks like cord, except that it holds its shape. So, and that's kind of good in this instance, I think. So I strung that through, but you could also use like a traveler's notebook type elastic. Just knot it at one end so you have a big loop, and then poke your loop through. Then when you wrap it up, you can pull that elastic around. And I was doing that, but I only have this bright springy green, and it didn't really go with these more sea or mossy or turquoisey colors. So I like this because of the red tidbits. The funny thing is, if the mermaid, I don't know if you can see her. There's a little mermaid hanging out in there. She and the merman have red on them, and you can see a little bit of it here. But I felt like the red kind of worked, plus I have red stitching. Anyway, I liked that. I like bringing in the red for a contrast, since I didn't have a better match of elastic. So these openings here are sewn at 2-inch increments from each other. When I was kind of trying to measure out how wide to do the slots, I probably gave myself a little too much room. I was setting the pen there, and I was kind of holding it and seeing how much room it needed. But I think I could go probably a half of an inch smaller and still be able to get the pen in and out. It was hard to tell holding it with my fingers, and I even put a pin in. But once the stitches are in, you find that there's a little bit more play in there than you think there's going to be. So I could have 2 pens in a slot. That works, but I kind of like having them separate like this. I don't want it too bulky. So anyway, this works. So let's roll it up, and then I'll probably just give you the rough dimensions now. The thing I don't like about this setup is how this pen here kind of hangs out. So even when I wrap it, that pen is exposed. So if I slide that over closer in, I figured this out earlier, that kind of helps that pen stay slightly more tucked in. See, I can bring this bit of fabric over a little further with that pen slid over closer that way. Or it can just be a 5-pen slot, or I could add this somewhere else. It really, whatever configuration you want. When you make one, it's your pen pouch, so do how you want, but that's kind of how it looks from the top. And then I kind of like this because it's almost as easy as an elastic. Just twist that, maybe kind of tuck it like that. And I kind of like this cord too because I think it fits sort of with this sea theme. This seems almost like rope, although it's colorful. It has kind of a rusticness to it. So I think it works well. I'm pretty happy with that. I put some, got a piece of hair stuck there. I put some nail polish on there and a little bit of glue just to stiffen up those edges so they wouldn't fray. And I knotted it. And I also put a little bit of glue on these as well so that they wouldn't fray. So the thing that's nice about this kind of setup is I debated. I didn't know that I would want this eyelet right there, but it's pretty subtle, pretty much blends in with the material. But this allows you to switch out your fasteners. So like I said, I can put in elastic, like a traveler's notebook thickness elastic. You can tie a ribbon and put it through there, and then once the ribbon gets worn or frayed, you can just switch it out. Originally, I was going to put the grommet in just this backing and then enclose it in my seam, but I thought, nope, that is a bad idea, because if this were to be defective or break or something, there'd be no way of switching it out if it were enclosed. So that's why we decided to go ahead and attach it there. So let's try this now. Did I already show you? Maybe I did. Anyway, if I put that other pen, if I don't use that last slot, I kind of like how this looks a little bit better. I don't like that pen just flopping out there. This seems to me a little more secure. So that is probably something I would do if I were actually taking this somewhere with me. Right now I haven't done that, but I think I like it better protected. So, but for now, at home, not going anywhere, not going to throw this in a tote bag or a purse, I think I might just try it like this. If you're good at sewing and you're good at measurements and all that kind of thing, this would be a very easy project. It was easy. It just was a little bit, like I said, time consuming because I was figuring it all out. I didn't follow a pattern. I just kind of made it up as I went along. But it would be easy. And if what I was going to say, if you're good at numbers and you like to figure out how to make this fit, say, a Kaweco pen, or how to make more slots or a longer pouch, you would find this a relatively easy thing. Let me grab my numbers. But it wasn't hard. But I just wanted to show you, in case you might want to try this, that the big pieces were 13 inches long, and then about 7 1/4 tall. You can play around with that. Depends on how big you want to do your seams. I just kind of eyeballed it. I don't have, like I held up my pen and I kind of folded where the pocket would be, and I guesstimated how much length on each end for a seam. So, but approximately you'll need 3, I wrote 2, you'll need 3 13 by 7 1/4 inch pieces. So again, that's the back, the lining, and this. All 3 pieces start out the same, and then this one is folded to accommodate your pens. Just to recap here, I stitched here and here to keep that folded down flap secure so it doesn't work its way back up. And also, when talking to my husband about it, we thought that would just really make this a lot more stable. And I think it does. So here, there's a single layer of this fusible buckram. This is a really stiff, it's like, I think it's meant for like nice curtains or something. But it adds a lot of structure to this pen case, which I like in this part of it. Anyway, I forgot where I was with that. Oh yeah. So three pieces that size, front, lining, and then this folded over, and then reinforced here and here, and then sewn on. So if you could probably find a YouTube video on that, but if you have a general idea of sewing, there you go. Or if there's enough requests, maybe I could make another one and just show you step by step, since I have this one figured out. But anyway, I'm pretty happy with that. This may or may not be, probably may not be my favorite format for pens, but it was fun to try. I typically just have my TWSBIs in this Fjallraven Kanken pen case, and I'm perfectly happy with that. But this was a super fun project to make today, and I keep playing with it because it's kind of cool. I like it. So there you go. Maybe that's something you might like to make if you have extra fabric pieces around like I do. I've made book sleeves, I've made lavender sachets, and now I have made a pen roll. This is not something I would probably do a ton of and just whip them out like the book sleeves. Those are super easy. This is a little more time consuming, not difficult, and now that I have the pattern figured out, it'll probably go more quickly. But I hope that inspires you to try it. Maybe you'd like to try to make a pen roll if you're thinking of buying a leather one, and see if you like this setup, or go check out Saenz and see how she did it with a, like I said, fabric placemat. Super cute, and also very, very easy and quickly done if this is a little bit more than you want to mess with. That's all for now. Have a great spring, have a great rest of the weekend, and we'll see you next time.